A man walks into his doctor's office for what he believes is a routine checkup, not because he feels sick, but simply because it is time. And aside from feeling slightly more tired than he used to, nothing feels truly wrong. His blood pressure has been slowly rising over the years, but it has never reached a level that caused alarm. And he wakes up once or twice each night to use the bathroom, which he assumes is simply part of getting older. A few days later, the phone rings. His doctor explains that his kidneys are functioning at only 30% and that he has stage 3B chronic kidney disease, a condition that did not announce itself with pain, warning signs, or dramatic symptoms, but progressed quietly in the background for years. This is how kidney disease usually develops, not with sudden collapse, but with silence. Today, we are going to talk seriously about the habits that slowly and unknowingly damage the kidneys, why most people miss the early warning signs, and what must change if kidney function is to be protected before it is too late. Why the kidneys deserve your attention. The kidneys are among the hardest working organs in the human body, filtering nearly 200 liters of fluid every single day while carefully balancing minerals, controlling fluid levels, regulating blood pressure, and removing metabolic waste that would otherwise accumulate and cause harm. Despite this enormous workload, the kidneys are fragile, especially at the microscopic level, and once damage accumulates, it often progresses quietly without pain, which is why so many people discover kidney disease only after significant function has already been lost. Protecting the kidneys requires understanding how everyday habits slowly push them toward failure. Blood sugar spikes, and microvascular damage. One of the earliest and most common drivers of kidney damage is repeated spikes in blood sugar caused by foods such as white bread, pasta, pastries, sugary drinks, and fruit juices, even in people who do not yet have diabetes. Each spike damages the tiny blood vessels that form the glomeruli, the microscopic filtering units inside the kidneys. And because these vessels are extremely delicate, even temporary increases in blood sugar can create lasting injury over time. This process often begins years before fasting blood sugar becomes abnormal, which is why relying only on fasting glucose creates a false sense of security. The most effective protection is removing processed carbohydrates and building meals around whole foods such as leafy greens, non-starchy vegetables, eggs, meat, fish, and natural fats that stabilize blood sugar and reduce stress on the kidneys. Monitoring long-term markers such as A1C and post-meal glucose provides far more meaningful insight than a single fasting number. Processed foods and hidden phosphates. Processed foods place a heavy burden on the kidneys, particularly because many contain added phosphates that are not naturally present in whole foods and must be filtered and excreted by the kidneys. These phosphates are commonly hidden in soft drinks, packaged snacks, processed meats, and even foods that appear healthy, such as dried fruit, while providing little nutritional value in return. Over time, the increased phosphate load, combined with synthetic additives and unhealthy fats, accelerates kidney stress and decline. Preparing food at home using real ingredients dramatically reduces this burden and restores nutrients that support kidney resilience. Pain medications, and reduce blood flow. Regular use of common over-the-counter pain medications such as ibuprofen or naproxen reduces blood flow to the kidneys, limiting the delivery of oxygen, nutrients, and repair materials that are essential for maintaining kidney health. When this reduced blood flow is combined with dehydration or existing kidney stress, the risk of damage increases significantly, especially with long-term use. Addressing inflammation through nutrition, adequate minerals, and lifestyle changes is far safer for the kidneys than repeatedly suppressing symptoms with medication. Chronic dehydration and concentrated waste. Many people live in a constant state of mild dehydration, relying on coffee, tea, or soda, while rarely drinking enough plain water, which leads to concentrated waste products, thicker blood, and reduced filtration efficiency. As waste becomes more concentrated, kidney stones become more likely, oxygen delivery decreases, and long-term stress accumulates within the kidneys. Consistent hydration with clean water is one of the simplest yet most overlooked protections against kidney decline, high blood pressure, and oxygen starvation. Elevated blood pressure damages the kidney's microscopic blood vessels by creating constant friction along vessel walls, causing them to stiffen, narrow, and lose their ability to deliver oxygen efficiently. Because the kidneys are highly sensitive to oxygen deprivation, even modest and sustained increases in blood pressure can create progressive injury over time. Reducing insulin resistance remains one of the most effective ways to lower blood pressure and protect kidney function simultaneously. Sugar, fructose, and metabolic overload. Sugar harms the kidneys not only by raising blood glucose, but by increasing uric acid, triglycerides, inflammation, and fatty liver changes that interfere with proper filtration. Fructose, especially from added sugars in fruit juice, places a unique metabolic burden on the liver and kidneys and accelerates decline when kidney function is already compromised. For anyone with kidney stress, sugar intake should be minimal, with any fruit consumed whole and in low glycemic forms. Excess protein in damaged kidneys. Protein does not damage healthy kidneys, but excessive intake of very lean protein can overwhelm damaged kidneys with nitrogen waste when filtration capacity is already reduced. Whole cuts of protein that include natural fat are easier to process, while moderation becomes important once kidney function falls below optimal levels. Balance, rather than fear, is the key. Ignoring lab markers and early decline. Many people rely solely on whether lab results are flagged as abnormal, without understanding that kidney function can decline significantly while still appearing normal on reports. An estimated filtration rate below 90 is not optimal, even if it does not trigger concern. And missing this early window often means discovering the problem only after major loss has occurred. Tracking trends over time provides the opportunity to intervene early when recovery is still possible. Stress, sleep, and constant survival mode. Chronic stress and poor sleep keep the body in a state of constant alert, raising cortisol, blood pressure, inflammation, and insulin resistance, all of which accelerate kidney damage. Healing cannot occur when the nervous system never fully rests, which is why sleep, breathing practices, sunlight exposure, and stress regulation are not optional, but essential components of kidney protection. Insulin resistance as the root cause. Insulin resistance is the single most powerful driver of kidney failure, often causing damage for decades before blood sugar becomes abnormal. By the time diabetes is diagnosed, the kidneys may already be significantly compromised, which is why early detection through insulin-based markers provides a critical advantage. Reducing carbohydrate load, eliminating sugar, increasing movement, and personalizing nutrition are the most effective strategies for addressing the root cause rather than the symptoms. Kidney disease rarely begins with pain, and it almost never announces itself loudly, but by the time symptoms appear, much of the damage is already done. Understanding these mechanisms and acting early creates the opportunity to protect kidney function while there is still time, rather than reacting after silence has turned into irreversible loss. This is not about fear, but about awareness, responsibility, and prevention. Because the kidneys will continue to work tirelessly for you as long as you stop working against them.